We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to TNI-UK episode 113, coming at you live via Total Nonstop Impact Network, via on YouTube and of course on Twitch. And if you listen to go, we are also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. I am your host, filling in for the Bison today, The Joker, and today, of course, I am joined by the man simply known as Steve. How are you today?
We're very well, thank you, Bode. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Coping pretty well in this weather, -1 outside, so nice, typical chilly winter weather.
Yeah.
Just like to quickly start by filling in for the Bison as he's away dealing with personal matters. So if anyone's listening or anyone is watching later on, please by all means send out your wishes and that to him. He should be back next week. So we just wish you all the best.
Just send in your wishes.
Okay.
I say, obviously, yeah, just send all your wishes to the Bison, and fingers crossed we'll have him back soon.
Yeah. Make sure if you're new to the channel and if you like what you've seen or heard so far, consider smashing that subscribe button and giving us a thumbs up. And if you would like to show your appreciation, the odd super sticker, that would of course be really very much appreciated. And of course it helps provide you guys with some content to see every week as much as possible. We jump on to the news and rumours and the recap of the week. After an outstanding main event last week, Impact Wrestling reopened its votes for Match of the Year candidate with Josh Alexander and Mike Bailey added to the top of the list as one of the 3 potential votes per person available. And who's to argue that this match deserved Match of the Year candidate voting? This is like when Rich Swann took on Chris Bay at Final Resolution, and that was a match I wanted to be Match of the Year, but it wasn't available then, but that was something that should have been on there. So for them to do it now with this one, I think is great choice. So listening to the fans, we've had matches last year that should have been Match of the Year after the voting had all closed. So good job, Scott. Good job.
Good job, Scott. Good job.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, it always hurts me a little bit when they open the Match of the Year contenders like end of November, because you never know what's going to happen. And Josh and Mike proved that this is a case of, well, you never know what's going to happen, do you? This match completely blew most of the rest of the year out of the water, and they put on a hell of a stellar match. And maybe it's a case of leaving it till the end of the year, because there's always something left in the barrel.
Before we carry on with the news and rumours, a quick shout out to everyone who's just come into the chat now. We didn't see you guys when we got started; it was all empty. So hi to Zach Bonifer, good to see you, and Mia, it's good to see you too. I have heard of Mandy Rose, but no idea who the hell she is. But if she's been released from NXT, then good luck to wherever she goes. It would be interesting to see if she could do anything on Impact Wrestling, or know that AEW's in the radar too. But it's always sad to know that someone's been released. Bonus Baby, good to see you too. And thank you to Stream Elements as well for the shout out too. How's everyone doing? You enjoying the winter wherever you are?
Yes. Yeah, like I say, I know in different areas of the world, it's sort of different temperatures, but over here it's quite cold. Let us know what it's like over there.
So that's what the guys. How's the weather? Anyway, let's get back to the news and rumors. Ace Austin and Chris Bay are set to face Leo Rush, and I still don't know how the hell to pronounce his name. The initials just go YOH in the New Japan Super Juniors Tag Team Tournament final today. And while our boys from the Bullet Club suffered their first loss against these two, revenge is as easy as ABC. 1-2, sweet. So good luck to you guys tonight. Hopefully we'll find out the results by the end of the show, or JLO will find it out tomorrow. But fingers crossed for the guys at the Bullet Club. I think they've got this one. And given that their match against them, their first match against them is on Impact Plus, I suggest you guys check that out because they had an absolute banger against them, against Leo Rush and Yuo a couple of weeks ago. It was amazing. It was sad to see that it was their first loss, but only one of 2 losses so far. They've absolutely smashed this tournament in Japan. And here we go. Turns out that they've lost. Just checking from me now. You confirm that they've lost. That's a shame. That's a damn shame. But okay, Sura, I suppose. But well, just
This is sick. This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean we're not going to see them take on the Motor City Machine Guns as they teased. They teased that. We've got to see that coming. So, but Chris Bay and Ace Austin to go all the way with 2 losses, then to lose in the final. That's just incredible for Chris Bay's debut in Japan as a tag team wrestler and Ace Austin's debut in Japan as a tag team wrestler. What a hell of a first impression they've left as a team. Everyone sort of counted them out because they weren't the main Bullet Club guys or they were singles wrestlers, and they absolutely shown everyone that they gelled together so quickly. I think Jay White's got a huge smile on his face about how well these guys have done, and I wouldn't be surprised he's proud of Peacock.
Yeah, well, this tournament was growing pains for them, wasn't it? To sort of prove how good of a team they can establish themselves, and they've definitely climbed that ladder of establishing themselves as an official team now.
Yeah, and it's good to see you two, Terrence. How are you? As we head down to Hard to Kill, Mickie James matches from the last rodeo, the entire backlog of it are now available on Impact Plus and YouTube Insiders. So over Christmas, if you guys want to check out all the matches, all the people she's beaten, including Mia Yim, Chelsea Green, Diana Peraza, obviously. Oh, trying to think off the top of my head, it's a bit of a blur. I know you said Taryn Terrell, Taylor Wilde. She's been through a hell of a lot of people on this last rodeo. Giselle Shaw, of course. So a hell of a lot of people done a hell of a lot of fantastic matches to look back over while she leads up to Jordan Grace at Hard to Kill, and it still leaves it. The outcome of that match still isn't as clear cut as everyone's expecting. I still think Mickie James could walk away with it, although I think it is passing the torch over to Jordan Grace. But I'm looking forward to it, and looking back over the Impact archive is something I'm going to be doing over Christmas as well. So that might be on my list too. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, like I say, this run has been it's been enjoyable, and I still think there's a lot of legs in it.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that we haven't seen. A lot of people we haven't seen. Nikki
Country.
Can't do the Bison there.
No, I can't outdo the Bison's guitar. Sorry, guys.
Can't do it. But no,
integrity.
Yeah, but no, but yeah, there's a lot of people we haven't seen Mickie face yet, so I still think there's a lot of legs in this, and I think so far it's been handled really well, because I think that from what we saw on Impact this last week, it feels like it's getting tougher, and Mickey's now having to go into other territories to win these matches.
Yeah. Chelsea Green and Eric Young have been removed from Impact's roster page. This is definitely most likely confirming that Chelsea Green has once again finished Impact Wrestling, and we do know that Eric Young's contract had expired when he finished with Impact Wrestling too. So not sure what the plans are for Chelsea Green, but Eric Young is apparently rumoured to go back to WWE, and wherever he goes, good luck to him. Wherever Chelsea Green goes, good luck to her. It was I only noticed that Chelsea Green had gone off looking over the stuff about Mickie James, so just thought I'd confirm that for everybody if everyone's wondering if Chelsea Green's coming back.
That's interesting from Slowpoke, sort of saying that she needs to focus on an Australian tour with Conrad. So you reckon she's done? But
Yeah,
that's an interesting take.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Welcome, by the way, Slowpoke.
Welcome. It's good to see you, and welcome to everybody else on watching on Twitch.
Welcome as well to John Rosado. We didn't say hello to you earlier.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm skimming through the notes and got the chat on the side, so and I've got a lazy eye, so it's really hard to see two things at once. There you go. Something you can know about the Joker, guys. I got a lazy eye. Anyway, Josh Alexander. Speaking of Australia, Josh Alexander is considering coming to the UK in February and Australia in March, and he has his sights set on taking Japan by storm in 2023. So, hey, let's hope that's coming, because if anything, Japan deserves the walking weapon. And welcome, Violet. It's good to see you too. Hope everyone's been okay. Hope everyone's enjoying the lovely weather. It's -1 here, so nice and warm. And the last set of tapings were taped last week, rounding up what has been one of the best years in recent Impact Wrestling history. Joe Hendry even promoting it last week and over the weekend as he faced Moose in one of the matches, saying that he was absolutely blown away to be headlining a night of Impact Wrestling, and he's so impressed with how everything's gone already. And he's only like one of the newest signings to the company. So, but then if you've listened to his interview with Tommy Jim, you know how much respect he's got for the company. But it's hard to believe it's actually this is now like the last 2 weeks, and then we're going to be gone for a little while until we come back in Hard to Kill. It's crazy. This year's flown by. It's been one of the most faultless years I can think of since I've been watching back in 2016. I've had very little to complain about. The biggest upset for me would be W. Morrissey going without any idea what's happened to him, but that's his business. So that slight was like water under the bridge straight away. But it's been a fantastic year. We've had some highs and lows. It's sad to see Mia Yim went left, but she came back in almost giving up on pro wrestling, and Impact Wrestling gave her that inspiration to carry on, and then she went back to WWE to once again rectify the wrongs. So it's a year of really, really big highs mostly. There's not been one bad pay-per-view, not been one really bad Impact Plus special, and again, going through the archives over Christmas too. So it's going to be interesting to see what I can pick up and what highs and lows I can find, but I doubt I'll see any lows. What are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same. I think this has been a really good year. I mean, the biggest down, I think, like you say, is a lot of talent leaving. But again, it's one of those where you look at the product, and the talent leaving has been had talent coming in, so the product itself hasn't suffered too much. I mean, for me, the only negative I can feel is they put a lot of work into the Honor No More storyline, which didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock, but I wasn't surprised.
That's the only thing that I can really grasp at, really. But, it felt like maybe Slammiversary, if they'd have pulled the trigger then, they'd have had more legs in it. But beyond that, it feels like a lot of what we've seen, and even though the payoff wasn't there, what we got from Honor No More was really, really good. A good watch on television.
Yeah, we've still got PCO hanging around in the background somewhere too.
Kenny King's still there.
Kenny King's still there. Vincent is most likely gone. But, Vincent and Mike Bailey and Matt Taven, it's such a shame to lose their man Maria. But I wasn't surprised, given how that Ring of Honor had come back into AEW now, and it's like the next big thing to go to. So, but even then, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett were tearing it up in AEW and Wrestling Revolver for the majority of them. They've only just started to feature on AEW Dark more than anything else, and they were at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view recently too, so which they'd won, so they're getting some TV time finally. But it's good to see it finally paying off for them.
As Noah Sparks says here, the short-term contracts, but we have recently seen a Impact talents sign multi-year deals. So maybe that's something that Impact are looking into and changing.
Yeah, we've got Savannah Evans, Tasha Steeles, Ace Austin, Chris Bay. They've all signed
and
Trey
then
Miguel, Giselle Shaw. They've all signed multi-year deals. Eddie Edwards has
Yeah.
renewed his contract at the start of the year. Alicia Edwards, Jessica Havoc, and Rosemary have all renewed their contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Alexander has renewed his contract, obviously. Otherwise, we would be sad to see the new champ go, but he's now the current champ go. But Moose has renewed his contract.
And you've got to think as well. Some people might think, well, why are they renewing this wrestler? But you need up and coming talent, but you need veteran talent as well to kind of for those up and coming talents to learn from.
Yeah, we've got Bhupinder Gujar as a homegrown talent. He's come through. We got the guys who've won the I can't remember what it's called now. The one that Jason Hotch won.
Gut check.
Gut check. I knew he said tough enough. That's WWE. We've got the gut check winners are coming through now as well. Still yet to see Shogun, sadly, but the other two guys are making an appearance a lot more now. And
I mean, Jack Price has made a little bit, but not a huge amount on Impact, has he?
Not yet, no. But he is he's coming up for more. I can tell you that. Anyhow, let's jump on to quick look at the chat because I know some more guys have come in. See, shout out to Bonus Baby. Keith, good to see you. If I didn't say hi to you guys, just say oi. You didn't say hi, give us a slap. No, when I say us, I mean me, not me give you a slap. Anyhow, this past week's BTI saw Trey Miguel face Jason Hotch, and Trey's heel turn shining brightly through from start to finish. Trey Miguel feigning injury to gain an early advantage and not letting up as he brought the match to a slow pace and literally just picked Hotch apart, ending the match with the lightning spiral and then tagging Hotch with spray paint like he'd done with the X Division title the week before. Trey Miguel's heel turn has gained a lot of momentum really, really quickly, and I'm absolutely loving it. The first post he did after he won the title, and this is mine. You're not happy with it, we deal with it, motherfuckers. That just then showed you that this guy means this guy needed a change, and he got the change we've been waiting for. And it's been a fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Trey's got planned next. What were your thoughts on the match? It was a bit too one-sided for me, but it's all about storytelling. So it did its job there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, I love Jason Hotch. I think he's going to be a future X Division champion. I really do. He's got everything. But I think I would have rather seen Jack Price in here because Hotch has that heel character to him. So this felt like heel versus heel. And I feel like Price has a face character to him. So for him, it would have given Trey the ability to really give more heelish character to
really milk it all. Milk.
Yeah. But again, the match was fantastic, and like you say, it was a bit one-sided. But as a champion, you want to come out guns blazing and really show, okay, I am the top of the ladder. And at the end of the day, Jason Hotch is a gut check winner. He, with all fairness, at the moment, he is the bottom of the ladder. Yeah.
And the fact that Trey Miguel changed the pace down to technical wrestling now more, so his whole style is changing a lot too. It's really good to see.
And let's not forget that at one point, Hotch was trained by Trey, so it was a teacher versus student.
Yeah, it's like the Alex Shelley versus Trey Miguel round 2 almost, or in an alternate universe, so we say. And Barry Monkey, hello to you. It's good to see you back as well. Just quickly jumping back up through the chat while I'm going through this. Onto Impact Wrestling. Impact opens with a message from Dina to anyone who decides to walk down the path of the design, calling out Sami Callihan to a match and setting up a match between Khan and the Death Machine later in the night. What a way to open the night. The promo work from Dina, we know, was amazing under Eric Young, and prior to joining Violent by Design as the Deaners, you know. But this, it's like the heel character's taken a whole new incarnation overnight, and it was that intimidation factor we got from Eric Young in Dina. It was really, really cold. That promo, it was like, you gonna mess with him, you're really, really in big bloody trouble.
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
You know, so when Dina's saying to you, just because you cut off the head of a snake, well, Fiend were for him back. Not in such a light-hearted manner, I can assure you guys. It was a lot more intimidating than me. But, you know, it was such good promo work from Dina, and it's really, really helped set up the match later on we saw with Sami Callihan and Big Khan. What were your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, like you say, I still don't get people who don't rate how good Dina is. You know, the growth he's shown. I mean, even when they did the Dinas, his promo work was fantastic.
Yes,
but the growth he's shown since the Dinas split up and he joined EY in Violent by Design has been fantastic. So, and now, like I say, this is obviously the chance for him to kind of be at that leadership level. And, you know, he's grabbing it by the horns. He really is.
I think people will say he's grabbing it somewhere else, but you're being very PG. We're not the PG era, are we? Anyhow, the action kicks off in the ring with the rotating machine guns facing Heath and Rhino for the World Tag Team titles. Heath attempts to fight his way out of the gun's corner, but Sabin hits a dragon leg whip from the apron to remain in control. Shelley locks in the figure 4 leg lock, but Heath crawls to the ropes in order to break. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
just quickly checking that. Very thought it was. I understand that. You know, a lot of people had a really negative view on Dina when he arrived. You know, for a little while I questioned it, but then I saw what he did outside of Impact Wrestling elsewhere, and I saw some of the stuff he did prior in TNA as well, and I enjoyed the stuff he did in TNA with ODB. Looking back at that, I saw a lot of the ring out stuff he does in the ring and out the ring elsewhere, because when we restarted the TNI-UK, when I come back from hospital, I was going to do a 10-minute video on the Dinas, and so I had to look up both their backgrounds, and I looked at a lot of Jake Something's matches and Cody Dina's matches and all the stuff we did out back. So it's like my respect for Dina exploded.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I'll share a story onto that. I'll share a story onto that. The Dina ODB storyline was when I first started, around the time when I first started watching wrestling. So my understanding of like kayfabe and everything wasn't really very good. So I just assumed that when obviously ODB and Dina kind of got into their like relationship and that, Dina was just an average guy in the crowd. So I didn't even realize he was a wrestler. So I was kind of like assuming that this is just some guy in the crowd that didn't know how to wrestle, and he played it so well back then. And I was just like, why is this guy in the ring? You know, he's not really very good. and yeah, to see him now, I look back and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, the amount of time he spent in the ring, you honestly would have thought he's not wrestled as long as he has. He's been wrestling for almost 20 years or so now.
Yeah,
it was like it's amazing.
Well, we spoke at Slammiversary, didn't we, about how the passing of the torch could have been EY to Josh. It seems now like it was EY to Dina.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's a very, very good transition, and couldn't ask for a better guy to get the bump. Really, Dina deserves it more than anybody else. Anyhow, we jump back to the match. We got a pretty back and forth start off between Heath and Chris Sabin, and then Alex Shelley started to take over, and Heath, as usual with Heath and Rhino's matches, Heath gets into a hell of a lot of trouble until Rhino comes in to be the game changer. The pace quickens as Rhino hits Sabin with a spine buster. Shelley gets involved from the outside, allowing Sabin to capitalize. Sabin and Heath are exchanging strikes in the ring when the major players attack from behind, both with a pair of wake-up calls. Now,
oh baby!
Yeah, that's my reaction to it. And this was an amazing match, and the crowd got absolutely insane at how the major players ruined this match. I thought it was a brilliant message sent type moment. Classic heel stuff that you would expect, and but no one better to do it than Brian Myers and Matt Cardona. You know, they were pissed off at the Dean. The Deans. They were pissed off at Motor City Machine Guns, and they were pissed off at Heath and Rhino. So, what better way to do it than rub it into Heath's face? You know, we wanted our tags out. When they walk up the ramp, Matt Cardona says, "Give us our belts." You know,
Yeah.
So we could. I hoping we might even if it could lead to maybe a triple threat tag team match at Hard to Kill. You never know.
The clever thing as well is they attacked one of both team. They
Yeah.
didn't just attack like the Motor City Machine Guns so that Heath and Rhino got the win, or they didn't attack Heath and Rhino so the Guns got the win. They attacked one of both teams, so it was a no contest.
Yeah, I thought that was probably the best thing about the whole thing was that it was that nobody won, and it was
Yeah.
just the major players won in this whole statement. That was like fantastic. It was that is the way you work up the crowd. You know, you really want to piss the crowd off. You make there no contest rather than have a out and out winner one way or another. That was just perfect heel work by Brian Myers and Matt Cardona.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as the match went on this early, I couldn't see a title change happening this early.
No,
So it was either going to be Heath or Rhino, or something was going to happen.
Yeah, I was at first glance I thought Rhino's going to probably gore both of them at once, and then that Heath's going to get the win there because Heath was getting beaten up so badly, and then to have major players come out when they did, that was fantastic. It was such. I'm just looking forward to seeing what's coming next now because I know there's a big match scheduled for this week, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up soon. Anyhow,
Yeah, that is a bit of a disappointment. They've got another match scheduled so quick.
Yeah, but you never know. Things could always take a turn for the high or low, depending on whose side you're on. Backstage, Impact World Champion Josh Alexander tells Scott D'Amore that he's going to handle things his way in regards to Bully Ray's attack on him and his wife. And he said something else. Him and his wife at Overdrive. Scott reluctantly accepts Josh's course of action, and then Johnny Swinger confronts Scott about receiving a title shot he claims to deserve. Hard to keep a straight face when you guys don't swing.
And I want my pizzles back.
Scott D'Amore tells Swinger if he wins 50 matches, he'll get his title shots. This is like a huge, serious moment breaking down into a massive giggle fit like you've just seen from me. Just trying to recap the whole thing in my head.
This is going to be brilliant. This whole thing, you know, Swinger's not going to let this go, and I can see Zicky Dice bringing in like a load of jobbers and like Swinger just pinning them, and Dice just going 1, 2, 3, and they just counting up to 50, and then going back to Scott. Look, I've won 50 matches, and then
I could see this being like a new the next step in Swinger's dungeon. Have it rather than have a match in the ring to take up time there.
The funny thing is, if Swinger won the world title, I think the crowd would pop.
The crowd would go insane.
Obviously, the internet would just go like, "Oh, what the hell are Impact doing?" But the Impact fans would just pop for Swinger. I mean, every time he comes out with a pay-per-view, he gets the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah. I would love to see it, even if it's just for like 5 minutes, just to swing.
I don't. He probably hasn't, but you know, you can guarantee that, you know, he's got that old mindset that if there's a way of doing it, he could do it. You know, just bring in like, 50 people that he thinks are worse than him, and just quickly beat them. where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, well, Barry Monk has just suggested
And
why
and-
didn't Swinger cash in his exciting division title? That would have been
that would have been something.
I think that's what Swinger was playing off of when he went to Scott D'Amore, to be honest. And if he'd have had the belt with him, it would have made a bit more sense. But
Or do you think
Swinger?
do you think Swinger would have 50 matches with Zicky Dice and just pin him 50 times?
I think it would be something like that, or he'd get like random people off the street or in the audience to come in, try like, do you want to get an autograph with the Swing Man, Daddy? Not elbow or a forearm and a neck breaker, and then 1, 2, 3, next one.
Either way, I can see this being a riot.
And before they continuing on from events backstage, Jordan Grace and Mickie James are doing a photo shoot, and Bleep is building into the promo between the two of them recently. Jordan Grace saying to Mickie James that if you aren't ready for me, then be prepared to lose, etc., etc. Mickie James, don't hold back on me, etc., etc. A nice build and reminder that come Hard to Kill, that the last rodeo is going to end one way or another, and how it ends is entirely down to Mickie James. Really, we know Jordan Grace is going to dominate, so it's can Mickie James withstand the juggernaut, or is she going to fall? And I'm really looking forward to this match. Oh yeah. Just say, maybe. What say? If you feel let's dig out another company, bad stats and squash matches, yeah, I'm pretty sure it. I can think. I think TK's rolling in his grave of white gold. Anyhow, where were we? What were your thoughts on the Mickie James and Jordan Grace promo? I thought it was interesting to being done at an Impact photo shoot. That was nice to show that the knockouts are still being knockouts and trying to get on, but it's business as usual once they get in the ring.
It's something we haven't seen for a while, isn't it? Knockout photo shoots. So maybe it's a nod to say that they're coming back. And yeah, like in a way, it's nothing we weren't expecting. It's a case of I respect you, but I'm not afraid to go all out and try and do what I can to win. And that's obviously what we saw in the match later on. So yeah, I kind of expect this to really go full force, and both knockouts to bring everything they can.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder and a nice build. Excuse me, to Hard to Kill, because we don't know if they're going to get any more exposure this year as well. That's the other thing. So it's like this would be like one of the final standpoint. Might be one of the last times we see them before Hard to Kill, or the build up to Hard to Kill. So it's just a nice short sweet promo. Jordan Grace's promo work again shining through really well. She's just gotten so much better as the years gone by in her promo work. It's like as she's got in better shape, her confidence is shot through the roof.
Yes,
and it's showing through now, and it's just really good to see. Mm-hmm. Savannah Evans looks to teach Tasha Steelz a lesson by doing what Tasha Steelz believed she couldn't do, and take on Taya Valkyrie. This was a really good match too. Taya Valkyrie got a really decent set of offense in, hitting spears, but Savannah Evans managed to avoid it. Knocking Taya Valkyrie off the map, the apron while she did the splits. But that butterfly suplex that Savannah Evans did out of the corner was one of my favorite moves that Savannah Evans has got. That butterfly suplex is incredible. And as Taya Valkyrie begins to build momentum, it just gets shut down by Savannah Evans with clotheslines, with heavy hitting moves. And when Taya Valkyrie tries to go, Taya Valkyrie comes back with a clothesline of her own and then hits a Blue Thunder Bomber 2. Evans counters the Road to Valhalla into the Full Nelson Slamper 3, which was a huge shock for not just Rosemary and Havoc, but I'm pretty sure a huge shock for Tasha Steelz too. And as Tom Hannafin mentioned in commentary, this could possibly be another title shot for Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans now. I think this match was amazing. huge fan of Savannah Evans and a huge fan of Taya Valkyrie. But this match was a lot more evenly matched than I expected. And we got to see a lot more offense and a lot more of Savannah Evans in general, which is good. And if this does lead to another match against the Death Dolls for Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans, then bring it on, because I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do now that Tasha Steelz has been put in her place. Well, your thoughts on it, Steve?
Yeah, like you say, I thought the match was going to be reasonably even, because like we were talking about with Chris Bay and Ace Austin earlier, the growth we're seeing with Savannah match by match by match, this was kind of her big test, and you needed her to shine here, and she did, and it worked with the storyline as well. Her having a really good test with Taya and being victorious, and she looked really dominant. She looked really, really comfortable in there with Taya, and it feels like it's nearly time to push her forward. And like you're right. It feels like maybe they do get another shot at the tag titles. The only complaint I had with this match was after the win, they cut away from it. There was no kind of stay on it.
Post-match reaction. But I was hoping there would be a post-match reaction, even if it was put online. I'd love to have seen what Tasha Steelz' reaction was, especially because she's the one that thought Savannah Evans was just going to get her ass kicked. Savannah Evans destroyed Jessica, and she outdid Havoc. She out-wrestled Havoc, where Tasha Steelz failed against both of them twice, at least.
even just a look between Tasha and Savannah would have been enough.
Just
to sort of, just to hold the camera on that for a moment, to sort of see what they're thinking between each other. But it was just a case of, okay, this match is done. Off backstage.
They focused on Havoc and on Rosemary, and then cut off completely.
And you sort of feel like that wasn't where the story was.
No, the story was all about the relationship between Savannah Evans and Tasha Steelz. It's close to breaking point one way or another. But again, I think it's like Savannah Evans is going to be doing great, and that ego of Tasha Steelz is just going to boil in frustration, and someone's going to snap. And it's now just how many strings are left in that very, very tight rope.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, now we know that Tasha has re-signed, where this goes. Because obviously we're waiting for Savannah to sort of break out. So where do we see Tasha going? That's the interesting thing.
I've no doubt Tasha Steelz has got her eyes on the Knockouts title again. I think one of the things she said when she re-signed her contract was, it's time to bring some more flavour back to the Knockouts division, or something like that. So her intention is clearly to go back to the Knockouts title, which would be interesting. I would love to see her take on Jordan Grace. That would be amazing.
She's got history still with Mickey, hasn't she? And
she's got history with Mickey. She's the greatest that beat the greatest.
Yeah.
That if she was the one to beat Mickey James and that forced her to retire, that would be a huge spanner in the works of what everyone's expecting. Yes. That just crossed my mind now, because I'm still thinking Jordan Grace is probably going to beat Mickey James. But if Tasha Steelz comes out and causes the ultimate upset afterwards, that would be like long-term storytelling perfection. Is there anything else?
No, like I say, I think we're both on the same page that it was the right result. It just needed that little bit extra at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. We then get an update from Impact Wrestling on Ace Austin and Chris Bay's progress, which at the time they were 6-2 in New Japan, and as mentioned, now they were now 7-2 going into the finals tonight. And it's reading the comments we've got in the chat. Sadly, it seems that Ace and Bay have lost, but which is a shame. But doesn't mean we're not going to be getting that match with the Motor City Machine Guns and Bay and Ace. Hopefully, we'll still get that. But
Triumphant.
They have lost. Yeah, if they're triumphant, then fucking brilliant. If they've lost, then damn. But they've had a hell of a run in Japan, and I think I've sung my praises of them long enough at the start. So if you, anyone that wasn't here then, you can go back and listen to me talking about that for about 5 minutes.
Please allow me to express a heartfelt congratulations.
Yeah, that's all you got to say to the guys. You know, you had a hell of a run in Japan. Go back and smash it next year.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a bangarama for sure.
It's an interesting take, Barry, for a women's X Division title, but the thing you've got to think of as well is they've got the Knockouts tag titles, and they're struggling as they are to fill the Knockouts division and the Knockouts tag division. So to introduce a women's X title, at the moment they don't have the roster, and again, the titles they have so far, they're not getting all of them on TV, and again with the pay-per-view, they don't get all of them on the pay-per-view. So again, another title, it's gonna be, they need to find space for it on the TV and on a pay-per-view. So sometimes more titles can cause more trouble.
Yeah, well, that and the X Division is about no limits. You know, that includes gender. You know, we've had Tessa Blanchard go in there. We've had Jordan Grace go in there.
Tasha could go for the X Division title, like you say, because...
Yeah, I'd love to see Tasha Steelz take on Trey Miguel. Would be interesting too. You know, that would be amazing. It'd be great big clash of styles, and everybody, you know, she could go toe to toe with quite a few guys on the X Division, especially some of the lightweight wrestlers, to keep it more realistic. But you know, and
as Violet said, the DMC title is intergender as well. I mean, we haven't seen a knockout go for it since Jordan Grace held it at the start, which is something that has bugged me, because we need to see another knockout go for it to remind us it's intergender.
Yeah, I could see Giselle Shaw going for that, you know, and taking that. That would be interesting, especially given all the stuff she's put out. She's pushing online now with the new signing as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Jay Vidal. Yeah, those two together holding the DMC title would be very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying what those two are putting together.
They've got stuff coming out on Impact Plus and YouTube Insiders. I forgot to mention it in the news and rumors and stuff. They had one earlier this week. I've yet to watch it myself, so that's probably why I forgot. But they're putting out content, then just like bumping up both of them together. And we saw the relationship they did when he did the video package when she went to take on Mickie James and Endo Korea. That was fantastic as well. Anyhow, Moose attacks Bhupinder Gujjar and to get him back for the insult he faced last week, and also to call out Joe Hendry, saying it's time to believe in Moose. But Moose, all you got to do is save his name. Hey, and speaking of
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Saying his name, look who's joined us. The Bison has joined us. How you doing, guy? How you doing? Hope you're okay. Yes, we're managing. We're hopefully keeping everyone sane. Or hopefully I'm keeping everyone sane. I know Steve's doing a pretty brilliant job. This is going to be interesting. And this is like setting up the upcoming match between Joe Hendry and Moose. And at the next set of tapings. It was just another short, sweet promo. Moose is pissed off as we expect. So let's see him and it's just going to be good. Oh God!
Yeah, we're covering you, bud. Yeah, wishing you all the best, mate.
Yeah, we're covering the Bison. Trying to do nowhere near as good. You know, we can't do the hardcore country guitar and getting the timing for the Joe Hendry clap is obviously out the window at the moment.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Close enough. It's not too bad. We've got two dogs behind me too, so they're doing a good job covering me not paying attention. Anyhow,
Bonus Baby here says, yeah, I do think the launch of a weekly knockout show is something in the works. But I think, as Impact have shown with a lot of things they've done over the last year, they really want to make sure that all their ducks are in a row before they launch anything. They don't want to launch something that's half cooked and then it just flop. So, and as I say, right now they don't have enough knockouts to fill to make a weekly show, I don't think. So, or at least ones that are kind of there consistently, maybe. So they need to make sure that they have enough knockouts and enough. They know exactly what they're doing with that weekly show, and even where that weekly show will be. So yeah, I think when Impact know where everything will be and how everything will go, then they'll do it. But I do think it's in their plans.
This is why I'm hoping that we see Knockouts Knockdown again, more than anything else. If we want to showcase a lot of the women on the roster and around the wrestling, Knockouts Knockdown did it perfectly. We got to see Masha Samovich. We got to really see what Alicia Edwards and Savannah Evans could do at that Monsters Ball. And, they're like two people who were being overlooked a lot at the time. And that they absolutely stole the night with their match. And, I'm just reading what Bison said, so it's made me a bit bloody embarrassed when I got the dog in my lap too. So, but if Knockouts Knockdown could come back next year, I would really hope that would be like another incentive to get some more knockouts on, and hopefully, it'd just be good exposure for everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's where we first saw Masha Slamovich, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyhow, Delirious issues a challenge to Eddie Edwards, who is trying to leave the past behind him. This was scheduled to be the main event for tonight, but as we all know, that's been pushed back. But Delirious's promo, just when I thought I couldn't laugh anymore at Swinger and Scott Demore, I couldn't keep a straight face during this because I literally the only thing I could make it what Delirious was saying was Eddie Edwards, Impact Wrestling, and that was about it. It was his character. I don't know how he can do that and keep a straight face. He must have such amazing mentality to just keep himself in the zone. Because if I was to ever try a promo like that, well, I'm trying to do this now and I'm giggling about every 5 or 10 minutes if something distracts me. So I'm looking forward to seeing this match with Eddie Edwards because I knew there was some history between him at Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is. So if this gets brought up a bit more and we get like a bit more of a backstory from Tom Hannafin, who will most likely give us a bit more insight onto it too, I'd be interested to know. But Mia saying Black Teresa is the only person who understands Delirious. Maybe. Yeah.
Bison saying no, he speaks bull as well.
Oh, do you speak bull, Susie? Well, she's a French bulldog, so.
But no, this was brilliant. It was great to obviously see Delirious in more of his full-on promo segment on Impact as well. But I mean, Impact need to do all they can to keep Delirious around. For one, obviously his booking acumens, because he was fantastic in Ring of Honor, so he can offer so much backstage, and obviously his years in the business, and obviously he can still go in the ring.
He was fantastic.
And not only that, but obviously as we've seen, he's something different. You don't get a character like Delirious. No. So I just think Impact need to bring, do all they can to keep Delirious around because he offers so much to them.
Yeah, I think Delirious is like one of these guys that they must try and keep hold of next year, for sure. Jumping back into the week, after eliminating the Sixers last week, thank you, Eric Young. You're an absolute legend. Dina leads Khan into battle against Sami Callihan, gaining the early advantage as Khan goes Sorry, the only advantage goes to Khan as he runs through Sami Callihan with a clothesline. Khan continues to assault with another clothesline in the corner, followed by a spine buster.
Ooh, that's a call.
Delirious managing PCO. Yeah, I could see
That-
something like that happening. Eddie Edwards is talking about leaving his past behind him. There you go. PCO. PCO could be PCO. Delirious could be filling in where Vincent left off, even if it's like
Yeah.
unintentionally. They cross paths at some point during Eddie Edwards' matches. They have this sort of I don't speak sense. You don't speak sense. That works. Sorry, Susie. She just jumped looking at you. What the hell did you do that for? Anyhow, Sami Callihan creates some separation from Con with a jawbreaker and then begins to build momentum with a power slam. Callihan takes Con off his feet, but Con regains control, choke slamming Sami onto the apron with a choke slam. That was really painful. That made me wince. I was like, I could feel that move. That really hurt. Angels provides a distraction with a chair, allowing Dina to attack Callihan. Callihan hits a death by driver for the win. It was just what you'd expect from the design. Teamwork from all sides. Sami completely out of his. You'd think Sami would be in his zone, having everyone against him because he's used to being everyone against me type guy. But this was a different mentality that Sami Callihan just wasn't ready for. Con looked amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing what Angels can do next week against Sami. That was what's coming up this week. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen because I'm really this was just like Dina said. You cross us, you take on one of us. It's now like Sami's got to take on Angels, and it wouldn't be surprised if Sami then takes on Dina before the year's over. That would be it. I think it's like Sami's going through three stages of hell because he took out Eric Young.
Yeah. I would say it was good to see Con in a full match now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen him in 2 quick matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he looked really. They made him look like a full monster here. I mean, and like I say, it was reminiscent of what they were doing with Doring in Violent by Design.
Yes.
Which, like I say, realistically, going against Con, the way Callihan did, and you don't expect him to mull through him, and he didn't. And there was very, very little interference, which was
that's
good.
one thing I really did like. Dina was like, you get on with it, and we'll just come in when we're needed, not when we need, when we want to.
Yeah.
Type thing. Eric Young tried that with Dina and Doring, and then when they broke down, it started to break Eric Young down. So it's like Dina's learned from that. That's the mistake that him and Doring made. Doring then took on Josh Alexander for the world title. And then when after that failed, Violent by Design started to crumble.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, even the interference, it was just from Dina, a pull of the leg, and that was it.
Yeah,
there was no kind of chair shot, no kind of get on the apron and slug him. It was very, very minimal, which shows realistically that Con near enough did do it by himself. And I'm not saying that he is like exactly the same as Joe Doring. I'm just saying the booking was similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Like, will it be a case of he beats Angels but then ties with Dina, meaning it's a it's a kind of a draw going into Hard to Kill kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because something is building going into Hard to Kill.
Yeah, and Bonus Baby's just hit the nail on the head right here with everything about the design is just fire. The opening, I mentioned the opening promo earlier. That was amazing, and Dina's all white outfit. That was something that really is. It's like that. You think he's the angel, not Alan Angels, but then Dina's like the angel of death rather than the angel of life or anything like that. So it was really, really just makes him look so intimidating. Just that big white suit and or not even a suit, but the white attire, and it just Dean is just making this character work so brilliantly.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, EY wore white as well, didn't he? So again, that's
Yeah.
a little pass on.
yeah, EY had the hockey mask too. That bloody dog. That was good too. But it's nice to see Dean as Cheshire Cat evil smile rather than the mask
Yeah.
over his face.
Yeah, like I say, you can really see the character oozing out now.
Yeah, really, really standing out, and it's really intimidating, which is what we want to see. We want a character to be intimidating. Dean is doing it brilliantly. Anyhow, Josh Alexander's on his way to the ring, and Tommy Dreamer tries to talk to him. Josh Alexander just says politely, "I'm not interested. Go away. You can't talk to me." That's a bit more words than what Josh Alexander used. He just said no, I think, and then walked off. And during an interview with Gia Miller, Trey Miguel threatens to spray paint her after she seems to insult him by questioning what he did to Jason Hart. Then Crazy Steve interrupts, confronting him about cheating against Black Tourist, saying that there's no hard feelings in the but because Steve considers himself an artist too. The only difference is when Steve wants to tag something, he does it with blood. Now, if this leads to a match with Crazy Steve and Trey Miguel, I hope it's going to be a banger. I hope it's not going to be too short. I want them to go, even if it's on BTI, give them a good 20 minutes with each other. I want to see them go hell to high level on each other, because this things obviously aren't over between Black Taurus and Trey Miguel. This is going to be a nice way to just keep. The Bulls just, I don't speak fluent Bull, so Bison, please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, he's pretty much taken the words out of my mouth. We want to see we want to see the story between Black Taurus and Trey Miguel continue as long as possible. It's got to come. And it gives Crazy Steve something too. What were your thoughts on the thing? GMO did a great job trying to sell it too afterwards. So she sent the message out to Ace Austin, "Can you come back from Japan and sort this guy out?" So that made me laugh. But the whole thing, Trey Miguel's attitude is just amazing, and Crazy Steve playing onto it now. Could Crazy Steve actually tip him even further down rather than try and perk him up?
Yeah, no, I love this. I love this segment, and again, it shows further how Trey is going heel. And I actually thought there was a moment where he was going to spray Gia, and really take that heel aspect even further. But again, as we were saying earlier about how much Dina has progressed, or how much more they're giving Dina, I'm glad they're giving Crazy Steve more, because his character work here, I mean, we know he's always had it, but this really sold the match as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. And as we said earlier about him, Trey taking on Jason Hotch, Crazy Steve, he's kind of that tweener towards a face. So this match will really kind of have that crowd, or be able to help Trey push over that heel character even more. And like you say, hopefully the Black Taurus story isn't finished.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming. Yeah, and I'm just, Black Taurus deserves a rematch after that, regardless. There's no arguing with it. Yes, there's no hard feelings on paper, but still, he cheated to win, and there was no clear, there's no other clean cut number one contender, or people could say Mike Bailey, because Kenny King cost Mike Bailey the match.
Yeah.
But
one thing I'd find very interesting is it's been a while since we've seen Taurus and Steve united with Rosemary and like the Death Dolls.
Yeah.
So like we've been talking for a little while about maybe Trey reuniting with like a version of like the Rascals with like a version of the Rascals and that. So if we do see those come in, do we see a third member join Taurus and Steve maybe?
Yeah, we could see Delirious in there. You know, imagine we were speaking about Delirious and Black Taurus. Imagine them with Crazy Steve.
Yeah.
It'd be insane. It'd be one of the hardest factions to understand, unless without Rosemary, he doesn't speak English in the same way most of us do. But
It's
still,
sort of gibberish. It's sort of just gibberish, isn't it?
yeah. But Rosemary's got like a poetic feel to it. But Delirious, you know. Sammy's not impressed with that at all. He's giving me a look now. Anyhow, let's head on to the main event before I drive everybody too mad. The main event sees Josh Alexander come out to the ring, opening an open challenge and saying to Bully Ray, "You got nothing to lose. Come on, come and get me now, and you still get your match at hard to kill, even if I beat you." I think Bully Ray appears on screen, turns it down, and Mike Bailey is the one who comes out to answer it, but which is not what Josh wanted. But before we go into the match itself, I want to know what everyone's thoughts in the chats were about Bully Ray. Do you think this was a smart decision, or do you think he's a coward?
Yes, please. We need a book club with Crazy Steve, Delirious, and Black Taurus.
Yes, we do.
I tell you, yeah. We just need to think of some mad sort of promos that we could add like Raven and James Mitchell in there.
Oh yeah. Just seems Delirious like it's watching Welsh TV. Sorry, Monkey, you legend.
Yeah.
I hope there isn't. I know I've got a few fans and a few friends in Wales, so no apologies, guys. But still, anyhow, going back to the Josh Alexander. This is the open challenge, and Mike Bailey answers the call, which isn't what Josh wanted. But Bully Ray gave it, in a way, justified it again by saying, he had his word. You faced me at hard to kill, but. What are your thoughts, guys? Was this a smart decision, or is Bully Ray really just a complete coward?
I think he had a point. I mean, it's one of those things where he said, "Okay, if I come down now and beat you or lose, I'm still going to face you in 3 weeks, and I still get my shot." So,
yeah.
In a way, it did. He did make Josh look like a bit of an idiot with that comment, didn't he?
Yeah. I think that's the one thing. It just shows that Josh isn't thinking as clearly as he wanted. It's like desperation to just wring his neck after what happened, and it's backfired. But then, when Mike Bailey answered the challenge and actually gave us one of the best bits of promo work he's done the entire year, that was brilliant. Yeah, bonus baby here. Bully is trying to get Josh hot, get him mad, get him really angry. Yeah, he's, and it worked. This match went on. This match went on for about 59 minutes.
Yeah, I think they had about 20 seconds left, didn't they?
Yeah, they had about 20 seconds left. It went down to at least the final 13. I counted it down when I watched it back on Monday, roughly how much it went from the 22nd announcement they got. I got down to about 13 seconds left. So there's a hell of a lot to recap on this. So this is all copy pasted from the Impact Wrestling website. So I've no doubt we'll go over anything missed out because all this will be what's been broadcast live. Bailey salts over the top rope, colliding with Josh Alexander on the floor. Alexander hits a strong backbreaker, but Bailey quickly turns the tag with a drop kick. Bailey hits a running corkscrew for 2. Josh Alexander hits 3 German suplexes, trapping the arms on the pin attempt, but Bailey obviously breaks free. Alexander locks in the ankle up, but Bailey fights out of it and begins to target his shoulder, which was in by Frankie Kazarian, obviously, in his matchup Overdrive. Bailey spikes in reverse Rana for another 2 count, which was a damn nasty move. That was impressive. I love that reverse Rana, poison Rana as they called it, and when the ad break came on. That's a bloody brilliant move. Josh Alexander goes for the C4 spike, but the damage has been done to his shoulder. Alexander catches Bailey midair with the forearm shoulder. Alexander manages to avoid the ultimate weapon, but once again his arm gives out when he goes for another C4 spike. And when he tries to take go for another one afterwards, both men spill over to the top rope out onto the floor. Bailey hits a springboard moonsault. I love that move. Jump into the corner, springboard moonsault is one of the best moves Mike Bailey has ever pulled off. I've seen Ray Phoenix do it. That's amazing. But it's just so incredible. I just love that move. I can't stop thinking about how awesome that move is every time I talk about it. Taking out Josh Alexander on ringside. Alexander fights through the pain to lock in the ankle lock again, but Bailey breaks free. Both men exchange strikes in the middle of the ring as Bailey gains the upper hand with a massive spin kick. Alexander dumps him on the hardest part of the ring. That was painful to watch as well.
Yes.
Seeing Sami Callihan get choked onto the ring, but then to see this gone on for now for 35 minutes or so, and Josh Alexander just dumping Bailey fall away Sam almost, but forward like that onto the ring was just ow. Given all the damage that had done to Bailey's back already, that was painful to watch. And Bailey manages to counter a Styles Clash attempt. Excuse me. I've really got a slap across the face from all the TNA fans if I'd carried on, not corrected myself there. Styles Clash attempt from Josh Alexander, but pins him on the map for 2. Bailey connects the ultimate weapon, but is unable to capitalize due to the injury due to the damage done to his knee, which was really, really. That was a bit of a shock for me too. Seeing that was just great in-ring storytelling, showing through. Given how long the match had gone on, it would be pretty insane to see him just jump for a pin. But the fact that it's just you'd still think that Bailey had him down long enough for a count, and it just didn't pay off because the injury came through. It was just so good. Such amazing work from these two. Bailey crashes and burns on a standing moonsault as his knees are driven into the top apron. That made me scream a bit too. That was painful to watch. So he tried to do the double knee moonsault on the outside of the ring, smashed his knees into the apron. I've done that on the stairs, not the moonsault part, but smashing my knees into the stairs when I'm trying to walk again. That's painful. Alexander hits his signature running crossbody, sending Bailey flying to the outside. They brawl on the ramp where Bailey hits the moonsault, double knees on top of Alexander's ribs. That was so good. Back into the ring, the match is now approaching the 60-minute mark. Bailey picks him off the rope with a top rope Hurricane Rana that late into the match to hit a move like that and it landing cleanly without any risk of miscoordination from both of them. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Mike Bailey could have easily overshot it, or Alexander could have easily overshot it and landed awkwardly, but it was picture perfect execution. Almost an hour into to do that move. That was just amazing.
Fatigue's got to be sitting in by this point, and still the moves are nearly flawless.
Yeah. Bailey picks him up with a top rope Hurricane Rana, followed by the ultimate weapon, but Alexander gets to his foot to the bottom rope. Alexander counters the Flamingo driver into the Styles Clash. Got it right this time, guys. Alexander locks in the ankle lock and then spikes him with the power driver. I love that spinning power driver. That's so good. But then the spike power driver too. Alexander then successfully hits the C4 spike and then connects with another one for a good measure, pinning Bailey and retaining the world title in a grueling contest. And that's just what's been broadcast. And I seriously advise anyone who's not had the chance to yet to go and watch the full uncut version on Impact Plus and YouTube if you can. It's worth sitting. It's an hour and 3 minutes long, the entire video. It's worth sitting through, listening to all the extra commentary, the reaction from the crowd, the reaction from the wrestlers in the ring, and you get to see the post-match moment between Josh Alexander and Mike Bailey too. They hug it out at the end, barely able to stand up, either of them. They still managed to get to their feet, shake each other's hands, hug it out. And after, like Josh Alexander saying, anytime you want this, you can come go for it again. No questions asked. That's just, everybody on Impact Wrestling, the locker, and they just went mad after this match. And the praise that went out for it was so fantastic to see as well. Everyone was really behind both of them. Damn right. That can ring out for hours. That was just such an amazing match. Honestly, it's hard for me to give you guys now another a brief thought of it. All I can say is, like I've said at the end of the thing, the best way to really take it in is to check out the full uncut version if you can, and sit back and enjoy it, guys. It's amazing. It's to think this is like the second longest match Josh Alexander's had in his time in Impact Wrestling after TJP when they went the full hour. I think they went an hour and six or 7 minutes actually.
Yeah, they went longer, didn't they? Because they had to go into extra time.
Yeah, so no, that was amazing. This is right up there, and this, of course, as I mentioned at the start, it reopened the Match of the Year vote as well, with that being added to this match being added to it as well. Rightfully so, I must admit as well. But this, along with Jordan Grace and Masha Somovich at Bound for Glory, alongside Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory, got my votes. And it was really hard to change my original third choice, but this had to get my vote now as well. It was just such an incredible match. It would have been a crime not to acknowledge it in any way. Hats off to Mike Bailey and hats off to Josh Alexander. Amazing that they're even able to still walk out the ring afterwards. It was just insane.
Yeah, like I say, it was one of those matches that you just sort of have to watch, really. Because, like you say, you've read out, the pointers that happened, but they don't do it justice. They really don't. You have to see it all happen and unfold by yourself just to see everything that these two wrestlers did in that ring, show everything that they put their bodies through, and just show that everything that Impact World Title means to both these wrestlers. So it's a hell of a match. I mean, it was pay-per-view quality on Impact TV. It really was.
And these are two guys that Scott D'Amore personally signed himself in Canada. He went up to the promotion they were working at and signed them there. And Mike Bailey got his contract signed off with Josh Alexander's back. Something that Mike Bailey even touched on at the start of the week, when he reflected on it, this year has been absolutely insane for Mike Bailey. He spent 5 years unable to wrestle in the US due to the COVID and due to visa, and then he's 1 year in Impact Wrestling, he's taken the world by storm, and this is just a hell of a way to start winding up the year. I don't think you could have done it any better way. It was just brilliant.
And as Bonus Baby here said, it was a bit of a, shall we say, respect match. There weren't really any heels in it. To be honest, I mean, we saw, even though it was a different kind of show, we saw Bailey play a heel in that in IPWF. Yeah. And to be honest, if I'm on, I actually preferred him. I thought his character work and his promo work was far better. So I'm looking forward to one day when he does turn heel, because I think we'll get a nice character out of Mike Bailey when he turns heel. So I think he can do a good heel. And I wonder if that's the issue with the promos to a degree sometimes, because as they said in commentary, I think that he does have a French background, so maybe that's where his sort of line, what's the word? I don't want to say bland, but those kind of simple promos are coming because he's trying to hold back the accent.
Yeah. Well, he's got. He's with Impact Wrestling for at least 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah,
and he's got plenty of time to develop his character. He's come on pure babyface, and as the years go by, his work is only going to get better. We've seen it with Jordan Grace, we've seen it with Tasha Steelz, we've seen it with Savannah Evans now as well. As time goes on, he's going to get a lot better in ring. And
definitely,
Kenny King had a chance to ruin the moment, but the whole respect moment really was shown. From what I know, was shown really after Impact Wrestling went off the air, So
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
if Kenny King was to come out,
It's
then,
online, give them, and you can see them walking off and everyone backstage, like they did with the TJP and Josh Alexander match.
yeah, if Kenny King was to come out to the ring at any point, it would have had to been about literally as soon as the pin had happened, and then by that time they were pretty much ready to cut away from Impact and go on to New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access
So,
TV. So everyone would have missed it. It would have been
sometimes you have to pick, is this the moment to do it? And I think
Yeah.
if he'd have done it, everyone would have been so engrossed in that match, they'd have left with a booze for the wrong reason. You know, like there's good heel heat, and then there's get off my TV heat, and I think that would have been get off my TV heat kind of thing.
Yeah. I would have put my fist through the monitor as well. I must admit, if anyone had come out and ruined that match, I would have just lost my shit and put my fist through the monitor, and then I would have had to buy myself a new monitor. It would have been still spur of the moment, not thinking things through as you do when you're so engrossed in something. Anyhow, but running up to what's happening this week. This week's digital media exclusive was the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Death Threat Army for the IWR World Tag Team Championship. I did try to watch this last night, but I was also setting up tonight's podcast, so I had it on in the background as I did with everything last week, and then lost concentration, and then I didn't have time to do it this week because I spent half an hour getting the script for this tonight done within the only amount of free time I've had, so I've not had a chance to catch up with this. So, guys who haven't seen this match yet, there's no spoilers from me tonight on what happened. Mm-hmm. But from what I've read I read the Bison's comment on this on Twitter. He was really impressed with this match. So if you want to give us a quick oversight, any words in the chat on this, by all means, please do. Just don't give the results away because I know some people don't appreciate that. But this is one of these matches that I'm looking forward to going back and checking over. And
like I say, looking at the I've yet to see it either. However, I'm really enjoying the match, mainly because of the I'm looking forward to seeing what Jack Price does here, and just looking at the poster, that looks like Aiden Prince, is it?
I've not had a look, but we're talking the
It looks like I'm not sure who his tag partner is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was. I have to watch the match again.
Let us know in the comments who Jack Price was tagging with. But obviously, if it was, then again, Impact need tag teams.
Yeah, and of course it gets Aiden Prince on TV too. I think at the moment he's got. I'm not sure what the issues are, why he's not been on Impact Wrestling as much as he has been, but hopefully that'll be something we see sorted next year too.
Yeah.
BTI. Speaking of Jack Price, BTI match this week is Shearer versus Jack Price. So that's my hope to see Trey Miguel and Crazy Steve out the window for now on BTI. But this is going to be pretty interesting too. You know, Jack Price, another gut check winner. Shearer is looking to build some more momentum after a bit of a hiccup. So and of course we've got Raj Singh at ringside too. So it's going to be an interesting match, this one. Going on to Impact Wrestling in the order that the matches are put out on the website. We got Bully Ray versus John Skyler, Alan Angels versus Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards versus Delirious, and then the Motor City Machine Guns versus Heath and Rhino in a tag team title rematch with the major players banned from ringside. This is a hell of a card to kick off the beginning of the end of the year. Even more, to continue the beginning of the end of the year as we lead into now. The last two set of tapings should be this week and next week. I think, it should be this week and next week. When the last set of tapings are released. So
yeah, I think this week. Will there be one next week and then one?
I think there will be one next week and then But still, this is the card at the moment as it stands. Obviously, subject to change. But to see Eddie Edwards and Delirious, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens with Angels and Sami Callihan. Are we going to get Dina versus Sami at the end of the year? Which is what I really do think is going to be the outcome, and then see where that goes at Hard to Kill in 2023. It's going to be incredible. But there's a hell of a card and a hell of a night planned for Thursday, regardless. And if there's, here we are. Thanks, Mia. Thanks for clearing that up. The next 2 weeks. So this week, then we got this December's tapings, and then it's over. So you got us for a couple of weeks still, guys. Hopefully, again, we'll be a 3-man beef hopefully next week. So you won't have to put up with me rambling for much longer, as we are about to round up tonight as well. So that's just all the time we have for this week, guys. So don't forget to tune into the TNI Impact review show tomorrow night at live on YouTube and Twitch directly after Impact Wrestling is finished on Access TV, Fight Network in Canada, Impact Plus, YouTube, Insiders, and of course on DAZN. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right because that's the newest channel they've subscribed to. And
I think it's DAZN, right. Isn't it?
DAZN or DAZN, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I said DAZN when Bison mentioned it first. So I don't know. Anyhow, with the newest part, and don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon to subscribe there to get exclusive content when you sign up, and of course join our Discord channel where Uncle Mark is stationed. Where we pretty much talk about anything from Impact Wrestling to wrestling in general, movies, sports, etc. All the TNI shows are available for you listeners and on the go fans as well on any of your audio outlets such as SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And where can we find you, Steve?
You can find me over on the Twitter at SimplySteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. So just head over there.
And follow the Bison on Twitter at LordBison45. And once again, guys, I hope everything goes well. Hope everything's going to be okay.
Send in your well wishes.
Send in your well wishes. Well, he can't be here today. And you can find me on Twitter at JOKEmptySpace. And if you jump onto Facebook or Twitter, look for #EmptySpace, #IntoTheVoid, or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humor, look for #DailyGiggle. Approach with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity. And please take the time to tell us about the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you've liked what you've heard and like what you've seen, and consider hitting that subscribe button. And please give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, and a smash to never listen. To never listen. Oh, that's really great selling. That is.
Sniffle.
Just throw that.
To never listen.
To never miss a
listen.
To never miss any of the TNI-UK and US teams' great Impact Wrestling related content, as well as We Talk Indies as well. Our newest members to the TNI family. They'll be out every Tuesday. And with that said, I have been the Joker. I've been joined by Simply Steve, and much love to the TNI tribe. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
We're Bison! We are in battle!